Sunshine, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a book unhaul. Recently I've liked watching YouTubers that do videos about books, which I know not a lot of people like, but I do. That's really it. Some of these books people probably haven't even heard of, they're not well-known books. They're just old books from a while ago that I just want to get rid of, and I didn't really like them, or I liked them but I'm just not going to read them again. I feel like they'd be better with someone else to read them, you know. But other books a lot of people love and I don't like really at all. I feel like some people are going to be really mad about some of the things I'm about to say about these books, but it's how I feel. I think there's 14 books, so let's just get into the first two books I'm gonna be talking about. They aren't a series or anything. I just feel the same way about them. I'm getting rid of each of them for similar reasons. One of them is Joy Graceffa's In Real Life book and Tyler Oakley's Binge book. I enjoyed them when I read them because it's you get to learn more about their life and everything. But the more I think about it, it's I don't know. I feel like it's gonna make people mad at me, but if a YouTuber isn't a writer, you know, and they've never wanted to be a writer, they've never talked about it, it just is kind of weird to me for them to make a book. I read these in middle school when I was obsessed with Tyler Oakley and Joy Graceffa. I liked them. I mean, I would never read them again, first of all. Second of all, I just think it's weird YouTubers make books. Especially if they've never talked about writing on their channel. It just seems a little strange to me. Especially them too, they do story times, so it's you could have learned all about their lives in their story times, but instead they wanted to make more money off of it. I feel like it's kind of sketchy for me to say. That's just how I feel though. That's just how I feel. But they weren't bad books. They weren't bad books. I liked them a lot. But that is the reason I'm getting rid of them. Okay, the next two books I feel like people won't really care about that I'm getting. I read them in middle school. This one's called Forget Me. It's about her boyfriend dies, but he's not really dead, I think. I don't know. Or her boyfriend dies and she sees someone she thinks is her boyfriend. I don't even know. I'm pretty sure I liked it, but I feel like I'm just never gonna read it again. So I'm just gonna get rid of it. But I don't think many people read this book, so I don't think many people would be mad about me getting rid of this book. So yeah. The next one's the same thing. It's called Can't Look Away. I actually really liked this book. I think I read it in 5th grade. It's about this girl who does YouTube, but her sister dies and she starts getting a lot of backlash, and I thought it was interesting, but it's all fake, and yeah. And I'm just not gonna read it again. I liked it in 5th grade, and I feel if I read it again I'm not gonna like it, and then my love for this book will be gone. So I feel another person that's in elementary school or middle school should read it, and I shouldn't read it again, so there's literally no point in me keeping it. The next book, I know a lot of people like this book. It's Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. I just didn't love this book. I thought that, Greg and Earl, I didn't think they were that good of people, which many people have said that doesn't mean that the book's bad, but I just didn't like them as characters, and there was no point to the book. I kind of feel bad saying that. I can't say much without giving spoilers, but I just felt as if there was no point to the book. Okay, this is a young adult book, and I just felt there was nothing about there was friendship, and they made a movie for this girl who has cancer. I just didn't love it. Not my fave. I know many people like it, and the movie came out and everything, but there was nothing to me. Nothing in this book was very interesting. I thought it was just long and drawn out, and there was no twists or anything that makes the book interesting. I found it very, very boring. Next book. I read this very recently, 2 weeks ago maybe. I had started this a while ago, a long time ago, and I only had 60 pages left, but I hadn't finished. I was very bored of this book. I wanted to read some Stephen King books because I know a lot of people love them, but they're very long. So I wanted to read a short one before I read a long one. I didn't like this book, and I honestly don't love Stephen King's writing. There is such a thing as explaining or describing too much. Like, there's a point when it's like there's so much description, like it's like you don't need any more. And I feel like he kind of describes past that too much mark. I know a lot of people wouldn't agree, and that's like fine. I just didn't like this book. I thought it was boring, and I didn't find it realistic in like the fact that some of the relationships didn't last. I really didn't like the end. It was very like, oh, it's over now, let's do this, now the book's over kind of thing. I felt as if, I can't say anything without spoiling it, but I just felt as if he wanted to tell this story of these kids finding this body, and then once they found it, he like just wrapped it up like an easy way, and I didn't like it. That's all I have to say. Oh no, great. Next book people will be mad about. Paper Towns by John Green. I hate this book. I feel like in another book video I said I recommend it, which is like the biggest lie, because I literally hate this book so much. I loved this book while reading it, and then I got to the end, and if you guys have ever read this, I feel like you probably would agree. I don't know, some people like this book, but I get to the end and I was very disappointed, to say the least. Like, I don't know. I feel like you guys know, if you read the book, the end is very disappointing and I didn't appreciate it. I don't like this book at all. So I thought, I'm gonna get rid of it. Someone else might like it, because I know there's other people that like this book. I don't like it. The end ruined it for me. I know I've said it like 20 times, but that's all I have to say. Okay, next book. So this book's called Quarantine, The Loners. This is book 1 of the series. I haven't finished book 2. It's taken me a while. I don't like this book. I like the premise of this book. It's basically, it's like a dystopian book, and the kids are causing the adults to die. I liked the concept and everything about it. I didn't hate the storyline. I just didn't feel like the writing was that great, or maybe it was the plot. I don't quite remember like everything about this book, but I didn't like it. It was a little boring at parts. I feel like when it's like a dystopian about people dying, it shouldn't be very boring. And I just didn't think the writing was the best, and that's really all I have to say about this book. I did continue to read the series, so obviously I liked the storyline. I wanted to finish it, but I just don't like this book, and I'm not going to reread this series once I'm done, so there's no point in me keeping this. Okay, this is the next book, Untwine. So there's a story behind this book. At the end of 8th grade, I was reading this book in my teacher's classroom, and I had gotten like 75% done, and then we just didn't read for the rest of the year because it was like the end of the year, so it was like finals and stuff, and I didn't get to finish this book, but I was really loving it. I was loving this book. I thought it was so good. Then my mom got it for me, and I finished it, and I didn't like it. What I thought happened didn't happen, and it wasn't bad. I would probably recommend this to someone. Just what I thought happened didn't happen, and it kind of disappointed me. It might have also been the fact that I like waited so long to read the rest of the book because I couldn't finish it when I wanted to, type of thing. But it was, I just didn't love it. And so there's no point in me rereading it. But like I said before, I wouldn't not recommend this book. Like, I would recommend this book to someone. Just I didn't love it. Ending wasn't what I thought it would be, but like I'm not mad about the ending or anything. It just wasn't what I expected it to be, and I don't know. Like I said, it could have been because I took a break between reading the first half and the second half, and I could have messed up how I like this book, but I'm getting rid of it. Okay, this book I'm literally not going to talk about. It's just this book from when I was in elementary school. It has a bunch of ghost stories in it. I read it, I liked it then. I wouldn't like it now because it's already like the ghosts. I like ghost stories, but I'm just saying I don't think I'd like this, and there's no point in me reading it, and there's really no point in me talking about it, so I'm just moving on. Okay, this book, it's a graphic novel. It's called Secret. I thought it was interesting because like the back, it's like about murder and stuff. I read it fairly quickly because it's like a graphic novel. There's not many words on a page. I just didn't find it interesting. I didn't find it that good. Other people might love this book. I just didn't love it. And so I'm just gonna get rid of it so someone else can read it. I didn't even finish the series. I was bored. I don't even really remember what happened. That's how bored I was. So that's really all. Okay, the next book. People love or hate this book, and it's Diary of an Oxygen Thief, and let me just say I hate it. I'm gonna try and be the least amount of like spoilery as I can be, but he does some awful things and he blames it all on being an alcoholic, and he just kind of doesn't own up to it, which kind of annoys me. He kind of is just like, oh well, I was an alcoholic, so that's why this happened, which is like, I don't know, kind of sketchy to me. And then something bad happens to him and then he's like all boo-hoo about it, and it's like who cares? Like, you've done so many bad things with other people. I don't care if you've been like hurt or anything. And like, he was warned about it. I don't know, I thought this was so annoying, and I think this might be real, and if this is real, that's horrible. Like, this is horrible, and I hate this book. I gave it a 1 on Goodreads, and some people give 5s, other people give it 1s. It's like love or hate this book, and I hate it. I know other people love it, so I'll give it up, and someone can read it and maybe they'll love it or maybe they'll hate it, because I hate this book and I hate the main character. And I know that shouldn't make you hate a book, but he's so bad, and then you're supposed to feel bad for him, and it's like, why would I feel bad for him after he's a horrible person? And he might be the one that wrote this book. I don't even know, because it's like anonymous, and I think it's his diary, because it's like, that's what it's supposed to be, but I don't know if it's real. But I hate this book majorly, but the more I talk about it, I'm gonna spoil stuff. And the last book, a book a lot of people love, The Fault in Our Stars. I don't remember when I read this book. I think it was middle school. I finished it in a day. It was like an easy read. I didn't love it. I didn't think it was that good. I don't hate it. I don't think it's the worst book I've ever read. I just don't love it. If someone likes it, I'm like, okay, I see why you like it. I just don't. I don't know, it doesn't like stick out to me, and I know it's like a romance novel and it's supposed to be cute and other stuff, but I'd rather read another romance novel. It's not my favorite. I don't have like a distinguishing reason why I don't like it. I just don't. And so that's really it. I just don't like it. I don't know. I don't know why. I just really don't. It was kind of boring to me. And maybe it's because I was like so excited to read it because there's so much like hype about it. Like, so many people liked it, but I didn't love it. I didn't like it that much. That's it though. Those are all the books. But if you guys liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you agree with how I felt about the book, comment those down below. Or if you want to see another book video, comment that down below too, because I'd be interested if anyone would want to see that. But if you think you're gonna like my channel, you can totally subscribe and hit that bell if you want to be notified whenever I post. But I think that's about it, and I'll see you guys next week. So peace out, sunshine.